Hello and welcome to program 89. What this program does is calculates the MACD using a price series provider for the same symbol that the chart it's applied to. So for example, in this case we've got a 30-second Google chart, but what we're showing here is the MACD as calculated on a 30-minute chart, and that's using the Google PSP. So if we were to go to the program and say edit studies and then look at the inputs, you'll see that we can specify the fast length, slow length, MACD length, the data int type. So what I've got two choices here. One is for minutes and one is for seconds. So 1 would be for minutes and 14 represents seconds, and I've included some information about that in the program itself, so you don't need to remember those numbers. And then the interval span, so a 1 with a 30 would mean a 30-minute PSP. So session name, if we leave that just two quotes, that's a regular session. If you want a different session, then you would put in, for example, US stock with pre-market in quotes, or the other options are shown right here. And then we've got additional bars. So to determine the number of 30-minute bars, this is the number of additional bars. So what the program does is adds that number to a basic minimum, which is calculated 4.5 times 26. All you need to do is just trial and error and put in a number. I started here with 100. So what you'd see if you went back on the chart for a chart with a larger number of bars, you'd see that eventually the MACD would no longer be calculated. So I've got this applied to a 30-second chart, but let's have a look. Another good thing to do when you're trying it out, making sure it works, is apply it to the same setting as the MACD. So here you'll see that I've got this applied to a 30-second bar, but it is a 30-second MACD again. So if we look at the inputs, you'll see that the setting is set to 14, which means it's a second, and the interval 30. Incidentally, you want to make sure that the session name is the same on both the chart and on the PSP. And you can see that in this case, with that number of 100 bars, that very soon on the chart that the thing stops being calculated because there's not enough data, and then we start calculating the MACD using the PSP precisely. Actually starts to converge to the real value about here, and you'll see what I've done is applied a normal MACD to this chart and the MACD being calculated using the PSP, and you can see that the lines overlay each other, although occasionally you will see a little bit of a glitch because the PSP is not tightly synchronized with the price. And this can also be applied to radar screen. And just a couple of things in the setup. What I've found is that it's a good idea to say load additional bars and just have an amount, for example 2 there, and then you can decide whether you want to update value intrabar tick by tick or not, depending on how many symbols you've got, etc. And then I've got the maximum number of bars study will reference set to auto detect. And you'll also notice if you look at these values, for example Google, the value seems to be slightly different between the 30-second and the 100 tick, and that again is to do with synchronization, and the values do catch up with each other, but it's not tightly synchronized. And also you'll notice that the 30-minute is saying a different value altogether, and that is because that bar has not ended yet. So what we're effectively seeing, if we were to go to a 30-minute bar, is the value for the the bar before the end, you'll see 0.36, the average 0.42, which is equivalent to these values here. Hopefully you'll find this program useful. If you do wish to download it, it's available at Markplex. And also, if you do spot any bugs or have any problems, then you can let me know. Thank you very much.